gray and gloomy as we're looking over Portland here this afternoon. And tomorrow morning is really what we're focusing on at this point, though.
Yeah, and it's not a huge deal. It's just we've kind of gotten lulled into this, like, oh, winter's not a thing. It's not going to be a thing this year.
Tomorrow will feel like winter.
Yeah, it's going to feel more
like it.
more appropriate.
Really
we
like
had a couple of breaks of sun briefly in the southern Maine, and I was like, whoa, this could be a really interesting day. And then they got covered up. Yeah, because I was like, it'd actually be pretty nice if we got some sun in here. We don't have much moisture, though, nothing really on the radar, which is about what the models had cooking today. We were between slugs or areas of precipitation, and so we're dry through most of today, and probably through the daylight hours, that's how we'll stay. Satellite showing some holes up towards Greenville and north of there, and so there will be some sun. There is some sun there, but I think most of the state sees kind of a gloomy day with temperatures hanging around 40. So you look at this temperature profile and you say, well, why are we concerned about any frozen precipitation? It's too warm, right? We're in the low 40s. That's how it starts, but eventually we get cold air coming in from the north tonight, and that's why we transition over to some freezing rain and some snow. So the rest of today is quiet. Tonight we start to bring that precipitation in, and initially in a lot of spots it will be rain. But when you get basically up towards Bangor, for example, there'll be wet snow going on later on tonight, and there'll be an area of sleet and freezing rain in the shaded pink area here. And I think a lot of this ends up being freezing rain, which is not a very popular precipitation type. The good news is we're not talking about a lot of freezing rain here. We're probably talking about 0.1 inches, so a tenth of an inch of ice, if that, and that's probably largely not on the roadways. We're talking about it being on branches and decks and brick and all that kind of stuff that's a little bit cooler initially. But meanwhile, it's still snowing in Bangor through early tomorrow morning, and so there will be several inches of snow there. And then we lighten up through the day Thursday. Temperature's still cold enough that we're seeing a little freezing drizzle here and there, so there'll be patches of that throughout the day. If you're traveling, you just need to be aware of that. The snow shifts into far northern Maine, and then we get a couple of snow showers and snow squalls on Friday with the system moving through, but again, nothing major there. So ice accretion amounts are minimal. 0.1, again, I don't even think we'll see a 0.2. If we do, that would be more than I would think, so less than a quarter of an inch, but just a coating, enough to make things a little bit interesting away from the roadways, especially things that are untreated. Snowfall amounts here look to be not huge. I wonder about this map, I wonder if the 6+ we can take down a little bit and say 3 to 6 might be closer, but I do think there'll be some mountain areas that do pretty well out of this. If you get towards Bangor, you're looking at about 3 inches of snow, and then there's not much going on here to the south except for the showers and squalls that happen on Friday. So once this whole system moves through, high pressure tries to build in for the weekend. It is a lot quieter, but it stays cool through the weekend. I don't want to say cold, because cold in January to me is highs at 15 or something, and we're not going to be there. It'll be 30 to 32, which is fine. A couple of snow showers around on Monday and into Tuesday. And then we got a storm next week, late in the week. Ready to lock that in already. That's looking good. Yep, I don't know exactly what it's going to be, though, but there's something out there. I think it's it's definitely more likely a snowstorm than anything we've seen in a while, so we'll keep an eye on it. But that's when things are quiet overall, when we're like 7 days out, 8 days out, and looking for trouble.
Something going on.
Yeah.
All right, something. You've been on par all winter.
I'll find trouble eventually.
It's out there. We know that. All right, we'll see you then. Thanks, Keith.